why we believe so much in the service that we provide is because, I grew up in a generation before cell phones. I didn't get my first cell phone until I was 16, so handwritten notes, to my classmates.
Our topic for today's show is the importance of relationships in business, and how to do handwritten cards efficiently and on an automated basis, because that's just what you bring to it at the moment. But let's talk about that, the importance of building relationships in business. And I think, your story about your professor talking about how handwritten notes, right? They're not common. They get people's attention. And it does help build that relationship. So talk a little bit more about that. What have you learned about that? What can
Yeah.
our listeners take away, who are also entrepreneurs and trying to grow their business? What can they learn from that? Talk to us.
Yeah, well, first off, being an entrepreneur, and being in sales previously, I knew how important it was. Like, loyalty is royalty when it comes to business and sales. Otherwise, we're chasing our tail and filling a leaky bucket, right? If you're trying to sit there and constantly add new clients to your business every single year, you're going to get burnt out. You're not going to be able to scale. You're going to have a business that is going to struggle. And if you want to sell it someday, it's going to be a lot harder to sell. But, why we believe so much in the service that we provide is because, I grew up in a generation before cell phones. I didn't get my first cell phone until I was 16. So handwritten notes, to my classmates, where I saw a box of handwritten notes from people I used to write them to in like middle school. Like, that's like how special they are. Also, when I got recruited to play college and football, any coach that sent me something printed, it didn't even, didn't mean that much. But then when a coach sent something handwritten, like, that was something I walked around. I was like, check this out. Like, this coach sent me this, right? And then I played for Jim Harbaugh in San Francisco, the 49ers in 2012. And he was actually a coach at Stanford when I was at U of A. So I always played against him. So when I left San Francisco, he actually wrote me a handwritten note, just like thanking me for my contributions to the team and all this stuff. And that's actually a keepsake. So handwritten notes, especially in today's digital age, they're incredibly important. When's the last time you sat there and you got a text message and, you printed it out and you kept it and put it in your keepsake box? It just doesn't happen, right? There's just something about it. It's just so genuine and real. But when you think about your customer experience and relationships and how that can affect your business, there's tons of stats. I've been quoting this American Express customer service study that they did recently. They said, by just increasing your customer retention by 5%, your year-over-year revenue will grow 25 to 95%. And I thought that was incredibly powerful. Also, they said customers who don't feel or customers that don't feel appreciated, 33% of your customers don't feel appreciated, and they'll try somebody else just for the sake of trying somebody else. That's 1/3 of your business. Think about that. Like, you have to replace 1/3 of your business every year because and I get it, right? You don't have the time to pick up the phone, go grab lunch, get ingrained in their lives and build that deep relationship. Like, what's a good way to do it? And we believe, a handwritten note a couple times a year keeps you top of mind. It's appreciated. And there's just really nothing else like it, without going crazy overboard and sending like a $200 box of gifts. It's just something authentic and real.
Well, and I think that would make a difference with your employees too, right? That's part of what you also recommend your service for. I mean, with
Yeah.
all the quiet quitting that you hear about these days, right?
Yeah.
Employees are just showing up, they're punching a clock, they're doing their work, but they're not doing anything extra. They're feeling unappreciated, underpaid, right? The
Yeah.
whole story.